This video is about verbs in Latin. In stage 4, we started to come across some different verb forms than what we've seen before. Let's have a look at them. In sentence 1, Grumio says, ego sum kokos, ego kenam koko. So for the first time, we've seen this word, ego. This word means I. So Grumio is saying, I am a cook. I cook dinner. Let's look now over at sentence number 7. Quintus says, quid tu coquis? And Grumio replies, ego kenam koko. If ego means I, then tu means you. And you can see that it looks like the word you in French as well. So Quintus is saying, quid tu coquis, which means what are you cooking? And Grumio replies, I am cooking dinner. Now, the word coquis or coco is what we call the verb or the action word of the sentence. Notice how, although it's the same word, there's a different ending. When Quintus says quid tu coquis, there's an S on the end. And when Grumio says ego kenam koko, there's an O on the end. In the other sentences, we have the same thing. So, in sentence 8, quid tu habes, ego pecuniam habeo, quid tu tondes, ego barbam tondeo, etc. So we can see a pattern emerging. Every time we have the word tu, meaning you, the verb has the letter S on the end. And every time we have the word ego, meaning I, the verb has the word O on the end. So what does that tell us about verbs in Latin? It actually tells us that every time we change the person doing the action, the verb ending changes. So, I'll say that again. Verb endings change depending on who is doing the action. If you think about the verb to walk in English, we don't do that, do we? You could say I walk, you walk, we walk, you walk, they walk. It's all the same word. The only time we change it is if we say he or she walks and we add an S on the end. But in Latin, the ending of the verb will actually change every time you change the person doing the action. So if it's I walk, you use the letter O. If it's you, it's S. For he or she, we use T. That's like all the verbs we've seen up until now. Then we've got mus, which means we, tis, which means you plural, and nt, which means they. Notice that there's a difference between you singular, i.e. if you're saying you to one person, and you plural, if you're saying you to more than one person. In English, we use the same word for this, but in Latin, there's two different endings. So let's look at those endings again and learn how to say them. O-S-T, which means I, you, he. Mus, tis, nt, we, you plural, they. That's a really good way of remembering them, to chant them out loud like that. So repeat after me. O-S-T, I, you, he. Mus, tis, nt, we, you plural, they. So just remember that verb endings change depending on who is doing the action, and that there are 6 different endings for